here comes the part where you're supposed to let the experts take control. Power company doesn't want to do it, so let's see if we can do this without knocking a hole in the barn. Well, what's up, guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and I got something today I'm really excited about. So we're getting some progress made, and I've got a piece of equipment here that I have about a grand total of 2 minutes experience operating, and we're gonna put it to work today. And it is oh, it's a Kubota U35-2. I don't know if I'd call it a mini excavator, but a small excavator with a mechanical thumb on the bucket. I've got about 4 or 5 different projects that I need to do with this thing. So GP Rents and Great Plains Kubota delivered this thing today, and fixing to start our barn project, converting our barn into a shop. Had an electrician come out, get me set up, almost finished with my meter base so that the power company can come run the line underground from my pole to the barn. But before they will do that, I have to come 5 feet out underground, 3 feet deep with my power. But Houston and Jacoby built a redneck swimming pool today. Pretty much all they're doing is wasting my water, I think, out of my, out of the garden hose. So what in the world are y'all doing?
Just playing.
Just playing. That's a real nice swimming hole you got there. I think I'll stick to the creek. I'm not swimming with you guys. Oh my gosh, Jacoby, that looks painful, man. I wouldn't do that.
Don't move.
Hey, you're gonna hurt yourself jumping in there like that.
Don't move. Don't move.
So I'm gonna try to find a few things to practice on around here and get good at operating this little track hoe, because like I said, I've never used one of these little small track hoes. But what I've got to do at the barn is probably not going to be my first project, because I don't want to bang the bucket against the barn. But when I get ready, when I get good and practiced up and confident in my skills, I've got to come from the meter base here, go down the wall with some yeah, I went blank. Conduit, with the gray conduit. But before I can put my conduit in, I've got to dig a trench 3 feet deep and come out about 5 or 6 feet from the wall. And I've got to get it done pretty quick, because actually my concrete guys are coming tomorrow to start the concrete project, and we're going to put a little approach, like a 4-foot approach across the front. So as you can see, I've been working on cleaning the barn out today, and it got big and very echoey in here. Still got a few things I need to get out of here, but just about got everything out. And I'm going to try to vlog that process for you guys, because I'm excited to get concrete in there. Then we can get to work on electricity and insulation. What are you doing?
Visit my animals again.
Did you bring any treats for your donkeys?
They're pretty full. Might have given them too many.
Really?
Yeah.
You've already treated them and didn't let me video it?
Sorry, you weren't here.
Can I have a hug?
Nope.
Let me have a hug.
No, get back. I'll take you down, fool.
Hey. One time Houston almost about ran me over.
I don't have any more snacks.
There.
What you got down here, huh? Something's on your mouth. What is it? Leftover snacks, donkey. Jerry. I don't know what to call you.
You don't know what to call him?
I can't decide.
I thought it was Steve.
Well, I'm torn. Steve, Jerry, donkey. I don't know.
Well, he's got 3 names, huh? So the little Jack is very friendly. He'll come to us. The Jenny, still a little bit leery, but
She came to me a while ago when I had snacks. Several times. She snaps at it and goes quick.
So So as I said, I've never really operated one of these little small excavators. So I'm gonna start out on some easy projects. First thing I'm gonna do is kind of clean out this ditch. This ditch fills in with mud. I've got a tin horn that goes under this little road. It's just a little crossing across this ditch, but both sides slough off and they fill in with mud. So I'm gonna start off with something easy so I don't have to worry about tearing anything up, and learn the controls, get everything figured out before we start on a project where I could knock a hole through my barn. Well, that little ditch clean out gave me a little bit of confidence in the controls, but that mud is extremely heavy and I'm having to reach way down below grade, so below ground level here, and then trying to lift that heavy wet mud up and turn with it. It's a little bit heavy, makes this thing a little top heavy. Just a little bit outside my comfort zone, but we got it cleaned out. So the next thing I'm gonna do, pretty simple little small project. The other day when we had the guys over here from Pond King doing our electroshock survey, I had to clean out a spot for them to back their boat in. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of vegetation that grows along the edge, and when we pulled the boat trailer out, it pulled out like probably 300 pounds of vegetation, and it gave me an idea of coming in here, cleaning that vegetation out, and then bringing some creek gravel back in here, because fish love to spawn in gravel. So now that I've got the perfect tool with the little thumb and everything to dig all this out, we can at least just dig it out, pile it up on the bank. We're not really trying to dig out a lot of mud, but just kind of clean up this area and maybe another little area over there. It's where we can put some gravel in here and have a perfect little spawning bed for the fish. Well, that was pretty awesome. That really boosts my confidence. Got a lot of cleanup done right here. It's gonna make it look a lot better, unlike the lighting I've got going on right here. Anyways, I think I've got the feel of all the controls of this little mini excavator, and I feel comfortable with it a lot more than I did just about 20 or 30 minutes ago. It does not take long to learn the controls on this little Kubota excavator, and I think I'm ready to go try my ditch for my electricity next to the barn. So I'm feeling pretty confident in my amateur excavator skills, and I'm really fairly certain I won't knock a hole in the side of my barn. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dozer blade on the front of it, and I'm going to try to scrape off as much of this gravel as I can so we can save that. No reason to dig it up, and then start digging this trench. So we've got to come out from where the meter base is. We'll come out from the barn about probably 6 feet or so. The electric company requires that they be 5 feet from the barn before they can tie into it. They won't tie into right next to the barn. They won't dig the ditch up close to the barn. They want me to be the one to knock a hole inside of my barn. So we're going to come off of there, and eventually it'll tie into the pole that's over there. But the power company is going to bring power from the pole across the driveway. But here we go. Wish me luck. experts take control. Power company doesn't want to do it. So see if we can do this without knocking a hole in the barn. I think we got most of it dug out. It's just right there next to the barn is going to be the trick. Back here, more than 3 feet, but I think I need, so I've got it pretty flush to the barn here, but it still kind of curves at the bottom of the hole, so we're going to have to kind of try to straighten this out a little bit so our drop goes all the way down to 3 feet and then straight out to the pole. So
that makes me nervous.
Huh?
That makes me nervous.
Makes you nervous? I nicked the bottom of the tin one time, but it's better to put a hole in the side of the barn, so that we can live with. That should be covered up with rock and stuff, but I mean, by the time we get done, our concrete will be out here, so not too worried about that, but let's see if we can straighten that bottom out. Okay, slight change of plans. I might have gone slightly more than 4 or 5 feet from the barn. So,
lost one. I got
change of plans. So here's what I did. Since this is coming across our driveway and the concrete company is going to be pouring a 4-foot apron out the front of the barn there, I have to leave a hole exposed for when the power company comes to dig the trench and tie into that. Well, they told me it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks on construction on their end after the time I get everything done to the meter base. So since they said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks, I really don't want to leave an open trench on my driveway. That's just what I really need, is a car driving through there and falling in this trench. So I've got some extra conduit. I got 3 sticks of conduit that are 10 foot long a piece, so I've got plenty to get all the way across the driveway here, and then we'll have to leave a hole exposed. I'll have to put up some barricades or something so nobody drives into it, but we'll still have plenty of room to get all of our vehicles in and around our driveway. We'll have plenty of room for the concrete truck to back up here into the barn, so we should be set. So I'm gonna start measuring the conduit out, laying that out, and then gluing it together and getting it in the trench, and then I'll go ahead and fill this back in so we can have use of our driveway. And on the outside.
Hey, Houston, now you should run underneath.
Just glue it together, like so. Get it in there, give it a little twist. Man. Man. Them post hole drivers will do a number on you. T-post drivers, sorry, I can't even talk, but whew, that's an 8 or a 9 foot ground rod. Luckily I had a 3 foot head start, but I don't care what you people say. This Oklahoma ground is hard, especially considering this is all basically my driveway. It's hard. All right, I've got my down drop out of the meter base into the ground. Got the ground rod driven as far as I can manhandle it into the ground. And our pipe is all in the trench and glued together. And Bella's sure taking it hard. Well, I'd say that's about as good as we're going to get for today. Leaves us plenty of room to work. We got room for our concrete apron. Got plenty of room for a concrete truck to get in here. And then we've still got room, once we're done with the concrete apron, to have to drive across here for a few weeks. And I'm not going to cover this hole up. I'm going to have to put some sawhorses or something up here for a barricade. Obviously, from that direction, you got a 3-foot tall mound of dirt, but we'll just leave this pipe stubbed out over here just like this. And now the power company can dig their trench from the pole over there, right there, straight across here, tie in. So I will call that a very successful first time use of a Kubota excavator or track hoe, whatever you want to call it. This is it's an excavator. It's the Kubota U35-4, and it has a lot of power. I was actually going to get one a little smaller. My plan was to rent one 2 or 3 sizes smaller than this, but I'm glad I didn't with those with the amount of effort it took to dig this trench under my driveway. Having that extra horsepower was huge. But anyways, guys, I just want to encourage you, if you're doing projects, don't be afraid to go get a piece of equipment like this and try it out. Those controls on this machine are so easy to operate. I picked it up within just a few minutes, and I promise you, I am not a heavy equipment operator. I'm not an expert at this stuff. I just love playing on toys, and the joysticks and all the controls on there are just super responsive, super easy to learn, and not a problem at all. So huge shout out, huge thank you to Great Plains Kubota and GP Rents. If you're anywhere in southern Oklahoma or North Texas, you need to look up GP Rents and this rental equipment. Could you imagine how much harder that would have been if I would have tried to dig that by hand or even with a trencher? Trencher would have just been, it would have been almost impossible to get through that hard dirt with a walk behind trencher trying to get down 3 feet, because the power company wants it 3 feet. So like I said, gprents.com, Great Plains Kubota, huge thank you. And I've got a few more projects planned out over the next several days that we're going to be doing with that thing. But for now, I'm sweating, I'm hot. My wife just came outside and said supper's ready, so I'm gonna go eat supper. So guys, that's all I've got for today. We've got to start on the electricity, a good start on the electricity for the barn to shop conversion, and then starting on concrete really soon. And that's not a DIY project. There's a lot of concrete. I'm hiring that one out. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.